Greetings, greetings. I hope people can hear me. Hold on one second. Trying to make sure that I am up and about. Greetings, family. How you doing? Let me see. What the heck's going on here now? Oh, my goodness. All right, let me see. What's up, 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 what's up? Family, how are you, family? I am back. Hey, and I'm happy to be here with y'all today. Man, there's a lot that we need to discuss. There's a lot we're going to get into. Let me make sure my cameras are right. Hold on one second. Let me just check my my background and make sure the background. Today we're going to be speaking on radical self-love. If you don't mind, we're going to speak on radical self-love. We're going to speak on radical self-love. This is going to be a very important presentation today. All right, we're going to speak on radical self-love. Can you hear me? Please put the number 1 in the chat if you could hear me. If you can hear me, put the number 1 in the chat. Big up to my peoples. Big up to my peoples flying today. If you can hear me, put the number 1 in the chat. I need y'all to put the number 1 in the chat. Uh-oh. No, I don't want to do that. Let me do that. Share screen. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, good. People say they could hear me. Can y'all hear me? Okay, great. Hey, Naya in the building. Nikki in the building. Williams in the building. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah ta'ala wa barakatuhu. All right. I'm here, family. I'm back in town. I'm back in town. Let me make sure that the cameras are right there with me. I'm back in town, and we got a special show. Let me put on my blue blockers, if you don't mind. I like blocking and protecting my eyes. Put on a clear one. Want to look like a doctor and a professor today? Let me look like a professor today. Oh, yes. I can see clearly now. My eyes are protected. Yes. As you can see, my voice is changing. And that's a wonderful thing. That means that I have to slow it down. I'm going to slow it down, family. I'm going to slow it down. Slow down. And I might even open the phone lines. I might open the phone lines today. Why not? I might open the phone lines today. Okay. Let me make sure that things are working. Okay. So I might even open the phone lines today. The phone line, just in case you do want to call in and talk to me about the subject matter. Let's stay focused on the subject matter. The phone line is 718-210-8853. The phone lines is 718-210-8853. If you want to cam up, you can cam up also. So I can put that in the chat also. If you do want to cam up, you can cam up and hang out with me also. So I'll put that in the chat also. But today's particular broadcast was inspired, and I like to be respectful of the people that I was inspired by. Please like, subscribe, and share this, please, if you don't mind. Please like, subscribe, and share this with somebody on a spiritual journey. Let me put the phone number in there. That's 718-210-8853, Now that I'm back home, my mother is doing well. So here's the number right here in the chat, just in case. Let me see if I can enlighten it, make it bigger. Let me see if I can make it bigger. That didn't help that much. Let me see. That didn't help that much either. I remember, family, I'm using a new program, so please forgive me. Let me see if I can. No, I don't like that font. Let me see what font that I can use. Okay. Let me just go back to this. Okay. 718-210-8853. That's 718-210-8853. You could also ask a question in the chat. But let's be respectful, and let's make sure that whatever you ask is pertaining to what we're talking about today. Okay? Whatever's pertaining to what we're talking about today. If you're going to call in, we want to talk about whatever's pertaining, because radical self-care is very important, especially because in the Pythagorean and the Chaldean system, the older is the Chaldean, the more vintage, and the youngest one is the modern Pythagorean system. And today is April the 12th, 2025. And when you add the 8 plus the 1 plus the 2 plus the 9, that adds up to a number 20 in one aspect. But if you add 8 plus 12 plus 20, 25, that adds up to 20, 45, and 2 plus 4 plus 5 equals 11. And that's very key when we're dealing with numbers, to look at all angles. Looking at all angles is very important. Hold on one second, family. Let me just make sure I'm broadcasting on Instagram. Big up to my dear friend Katrina. What's up, Kat? Hope everything is well with you, beautiful. So If you can hear me on Instagram, please put the number 1 in the chat on Instagram. If you could hear me on Instagram, again, you could call in at 718-210-8853. The topic today is radical self-love or self-care. I'm sorry, radical self-care. Let me edit that. I forgot. Let me edit that. That is radical self-care. If you don't mind, radical self-care. I've put self-love, but it's radical self-care. Radical self-care is today's subject. And it is very important that we all develop a form of radical self-care. And I have some notes that I will be embarking upon. I had a good conversation with a sister named Madonna. I will be speaking at an event on September 19th before I head to New York. So I got to make sure I just confirm that I will be speaking there and then head into New York on September the 20th. All right. I will be there speaking at the LIU on the 21st with Queen Afua. So the flyers are about to come out this week for all of that. But let's go to the board, shall we? Let's go to the board real quick. And I think this is very important. Look at the board, look at the board, look at the board. Look at the board. Pay close attention. Now, if you look at the board, you'll notice that in the Chaldean system, it adds up to a 45. Radical self-care adds up to a 45, which 4 and 5 are communication numbers. However, in compound numerology, 45, and I like to go to one of the oldest compound numerologist breakdown, Kiro, in his great book called The Book of Numbers. 45 is connected to the number 27. 45 is connected to the number 27. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, y'all say you're seeing it backwards? Okay, okay. Let me change that. Let me make sure if y'all seeing it backwards, let me make sure I change that. Okay, let me see how this is working here. Y'all are seeing the board backwards. Let me see. Mirror. Okay, so can y'all see it now? Can y'all see it now? I just had to flip the mirror screen. Can y'all see radical self-care right now? I just changed it. Can y'all see it? Put the number 1 in the chat. Can y'all see it? Thank y'all very much for letting me know. Copper Tone and Big Sky Comedy. Big Sky Comedy. What up? Can y'all see it better now? Radical self-care. It's not backwards anymore. Is it backwards anymore? Put the number 1 in the chat if it's not backwards anymore. Perfect. Okay. So the words radical adds up to 30 in the Pythagorean, self adds up to 15, and care adds up to 18 in the Pythagorean. That adds up to a number 63. In the Chaldean, it adds up to radical adds up to 15, self adds up to 19, and care adds up to the master number 11. So when I added 15, 19, and 40 and 11, it adds up to 45. Remember, 45 in compound numerology has the same meaning as the number 27. And I always suggest people to get my book because I have 4 different systems in this book. And one of the systems is compound numerology. And when I look at the number 27 in my book, I talk about the symbol of this representing the symbol. So 45, which is equivalent to the number 27 in compound numerology, has the same meaning. It's a reminder or an indicator that 45 is a symbol of a scepter, which is known in history as a special mystical staff passed down from generation to generation. That means 45, not only because 4 and 5 are communication numbers in numerology, 4 and 5 by themselves, but because compound numerology 45 has the same meaning as 27, 27 and 45 means authority, powerful, and commanding. So when you have radical self-care, self being the primary thing, you're working with self, you have to be authoritative, you have to develop the power, and you have to be commanding with your radical self-care. That means you are going to demand a lot just for you to be self-care. Just for you to have radical self-care, you're going to have to demand a lot. And remember, that compound number 45 adds up to a 9. So that's also a number of intuition, being devoted, being a counselor, being a humanitarian, and having certain understanding and instinctive, energetic, and being tactful. Yeah, YouTube won't allow me to subscribe, notify. I think I've been shadow banned. Said notification content made for kids. No, this wasn't made for kids. That's for sure. None of my stuff is made for kids. Only. Definitely not. So yeah, I'll fix that later. But don't worry about it. You'll be able to subscribe later. I'm gonna check all of that out because since I left, I haven't. I've been in New York. But I want to say that when you read numerology books of any kind, because numerology is the study of numbers, and studying of numbers in any way is either can be esoteric, it can be mystical, it can be physical, it can be just regular mathematics when you're studying and applying numbers to all the different sciences, because mostly all of the different sciences require mathematics dealing with numbers. So the study of numerology is exactly what it says. It's numerology, the study of numbers and its application. So because the words have its connection to the letters, I mean, the numbers have their connection to the letters, pardon me. The numbers have their connection to the letters in the Chaldean and the Pythagorean, and even in Gematria, in Kabbalah. But I'm keeping it simple. We have to know that these numbers connected to your name and your birthday are just here to guide you. Please know this. And I always say it's not here to take you away from your religion, your religious belief and knowledge. It's not here to take you away from your spiritual system and knowledge. It's not here to take you from your atheist ways or knowledge. It's here to help you navigate, just like the GPS we are all using on cars, in cars, in trucks. That GPS system is necessary more now in what we call the age of Aquarius. Want to remind everybody that tonight I will be interviewing Jabari Natar from out of Baltimore, top promoter from out of Baltimore. Can't wait to have the brother on. Conscious promoter, has his own barbershop, his own business, very big entrepreneur out there. We'll be having him on tonight. And then tomorrow we have our dear sister New Diamonds will be with us tomorrow. New Diamonds will be this beautiful Gemini soul will be with us tomorrow. So can't wait to have her on tomorrow, sharing her wisdom, enlighten us in her own way. And if you didn't get to see Brother Rich's show yesterday, he had Paula Herlock on yesterday. I will be having Paula Herlock on the show also. Okay? So yes, this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful week of nothing but great guests. And then want to remind everybody after Paula Herlock, we will have on the 26th. I haven't confirmed anything for the 19th. I'm trying to confirm Wesley Muhammad for the 19th. But on the 26th, we have this beautiful couple coming in. On the 26th, I have this beautiful couple, Mansho and Nwasha. They run the Akoma House Initiative. So can't wait to have them on to talk about today's consciousness in the conscious community in regards to relationships. That's going to be very important because relationships are few. And everybody want to be into the poly stuff. Everybody want to be polygynous. They want to do polygamy and polygyny and poly this and poly that and poly want a cracker and poly needs a cracker, poly dating snow bunnies and poly doing this. They doing all kinds of poly stuff. So I can't wait to have this brothers and sisters that focuses on relationships. They're going to be on in the conscious community. We're going to talk about it because they've been together for almost 30 years and doing what they do. I think they have 5 to 6 beautiful children. So enough respect to them. And of course, family, do remember to support the channel. PayPal.me/King Simon. Zelle Tab Productions 318 at Gmail. Cash App Inspired by Team, or you could use Venmo. All right, so getting back to the lesson, this is very important. Those that are new to my channel, this is the raw ministry of Numerovation, allowing us to recognize divine digital codes as a guide. That's all I'm here to do. I'm staying in my lane. I'm not going to get into any confusions. Although I'm in a number 3 year, I almost got into a confusion earlier this year, but hey, I'm not getting into those arguments about who's what and what's what now. I may have an opinion. I may have some book facts and some pattern and facts, but I'm not going to do that anymore. So, family, please like, subscribe, and share with those on a spiritual journey like I have in front here. Look on the bottom, like, subscribe, and share with those on a spiritual journey. Okay? I think that's going to be very important. Honor and respect to you, Sue, Mr. Holly Hammett. So I want to go to the notes before I go back to the board because there's so much to cover before I get out of here. I don't want to be here too long, already over 23 minutes. I want to be here for at least an hour. Today is a number 11/20 day. And I'm not talking about just the date, the 12th, August the 12th. I'm talking about when I add it all up. In one aspect of numerology, it adds up to a 20. In another aspect of numerology, it adds up to a number 11. Both of them are very highly spiritual numbers. Both of them, I consider the 20 a master number potential. And I consider the number 11 a master number because of the doubling frequency of the number 1. And the master number potential out of the number 20 is because the 0 adds infinite potential to any number that it follows, whether it's the 10, the 20, the 30, the 40, the 50, all the way up to 90. 0 adds potential. So if you're born on the 10th, the 20th, or the 30th of the month, there's a certain potential that you have connected to you because of that vibration. Whether you use it for good or bad, that's totally up to you. Mike Tyson is born on the 30th. Rihanna is born on the 20th. KRS-One is born on the 20th. Danny Pina was born on the 10th. LeBron James born on the 30th. Pay attention to the zeros behind numbers. It will help you. So, going to my lessons. Thank you very much, Holly Hammett, for your donation. I see the Cash App donation just popped up on my screen. Also, you can do Super Chat and Super sticker. Thank you very much, Holly, for the love and respect. Holly is a constant contributor to my channel. And let me show him, just in case you want to follow him on. There's Holly right there. No, that's Rain. Yeah, that's Holly Hammett right there. Big up to Rainwater. How you doing, Rainwater? Good to see you. And big up to Kalila Rain. Kalila, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. You always want to say the greetings a little bit better. So assalamu alaikum to you and the other person that said assalamu alaikum to earlier. Assalamu alaikum to Raufa and Nabila, I think. Raufa, Nabila, big up to them. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. So let me go to the lessons. And yes, I have some online. So the spiritual and physical perspective of the quote, radical self-care. And I got this from Wendell Pierce. Wendell Pierce was one of the actors on the show called The Wire. But he's been on, I think he's underrated. He's a great actor. He does great things. He has I think not restaurants, he has fruit and vegetable markets throughout his community and all that. Doing great works for school. Big up to Wendell Pierce, who said this on the Breakfast Club about radical self-care. But I went online and Googled anything you see on the red. That's me Googling it online and putting it in and explaining just to get that kick. So radical self-care is a proactive and intentional approach to well-being that prioritizes your needs and boundaries, often in contrast to societal pressures that demands constant productivity and self-sacrifice. I want y'all to think about that. It involves recognizing your inherent worth and actively creating space for healing, rest, and self-compassion. It's about more than just self-indulgence. It's about sustainable well-being that allows you to show up authentically and contribute to your community. So that's what radical self-care means to one online search. And then when I went to the second online search on AI, I went to AI. This is Google. This one is AI. And AI says this: radical self-care is more than occasional rest or indulgence. It is a deep, intentional, and unapologetic commitment to nurturing your mind, body, and spirit in the world that often rewards self-neglect. This is what AI says. That I found very interesting only because when I go to the board, the words radical self-care adds up to a number 63, which is a 9, and a number 45, which is a 9, and 9 has its positive and negative. So when it says what radical deals with, unapologetic, 9 says what it means and means what it says. 9 is a number of higher level of humanity, but it's also a number of higher level of healing, because according to numerology, the number 9 takes on all of the numbers that came before it, from 0, well, not 0 really, but from 1 all the way through 9, where the 0 symbol enhances all the letters from 1 all the way through 9. But 9 takes on all. And 9, when you add it to any number, brings the number back to itself. And when you multiply it to any number other than 0, it enhances and brings itself back to itself. That's the specialty of the number 9 and 0. 0 has a special place too. So I love teaching numbers. Y'all can tell that I love doing this. That's why I'm doing the board, and that's why I'm doing lessons. Can y'all all tell that I love what I do? Please put the number 6 in the chat if y'all can tell that I love what I do. Please put the number 6 in the chat if y'all can tell that I love what I do. What's up, family on Instagram? How y'all doing? Big up to my Instagram family. Big up to all my Instagram family. What's up? Big up to my Instagram family that's tuning in. I'm looking at y'all right now, but I'm focusing on the main page. Can y'all all tell that I love what I do? Please put the number 6 on my chat. I love what I do. And even when I do a consultation with you, and please, family, book that consultation if you can. Remember, the study of numbers or numerology is applied mathematics. Learn how to apply your numbers, and they will guide you. I do have a senior discount rates for the 30 and 60-minute sessions. Or if you're part of the AARP membership, I can also help you with that. I give you a discount for that also, if you're part of the AARP membership, okay? So going back to the lessons, radical self-care is more than occasional rest or indulgence. It is a deep, intentional, and unapologetic commitment to nurturing your mind, body, and spirit in the world that often rewards self-neglect. Now, going to my writings, the spiritual perspective from my perspective, honoring the temple of the soul. That is very interesting because the temple represents the physical body, which is you. The soul represents the inner aspect, which is you. So take a look at the numbers of the soul urge. The soul urge numbers of this saying or this quote, radical self-care, adds up to master number 22, which is a number 4. 4 is one of the number of healing, and number 2 is one of the numbers of healing. In the Chaldean system, it adds up to a number 14, which is a 5. Now, interesting enough, the master number 22 is the number of being an architect. So when you are practicing radical self-care and the inner aspect of the words, the A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y adds up to 22, you are radically becoming an architect of your own life. That's what you're doing. Because it's about radical self-care. You are radically being in the midst of your caring for yourself. Self-care. It's not coincidence that the word self adds up to a number 6 in the Pythagorean and a number 19, which is a 10, which is a 1, because 1 deals with I, self, law, law, and master. It deals with I, self, and also deals with the individual self, the number 1. 6 deals with the balance of self, the healing of self, the forgiveness of self. The word self adds up to a number 6 or number 15 first. So this is not a game when it comes to healing. And because the words, the vowels of the word, which represents the inner aspect, the consonants represents the outer aspect, the fullness of the word, and when it adds up to the 30 or adds up to a 15, or that represents the expression of the word itself. So the inner aspect of radical self-care is the master number 22, which I consider a portal of architecturally building your inner self so it can manifest on an outward level, but also bringing discipline, bringing structure, bringing focus, because number 4 deals with that building aspect, although that the 22 is the master builder or the master architect. This is Numerovation, family. So if a person is born on the 22nd, they don't mean that they're going to be a master immediately. Sometimes they automatically go to the 4, the lesser of the number 2, because they haven't developed themselves to be a master. And in order for you to have radical self-care about yourself, you have to develop yourself to be a master of radical self-care, knowing how to be radical with your self-care. And sometimes it takes a lot. It takes a lot. Sometimes it takes years. Sometimes it takes years. Again, family, please like, subscribe, and share with people that are on a spiritual journey. Don't share it with knuckleheads. If they're not ready, leave them alone. If they're not ready, leave them alone. Yes. I leave family members alone that has gone down the road of knuckleheadism. I've left friends alone that have gone down the road of knuckleheadism. It's not that I don't love them anymore, any less. I don't need that energy, and I am practicing radical self-care. I love to cuddle. So when I'm with a woman that I care about, or I'm with, that I'm dating, we cuddle. It doesn't have to be about sex. Cuddle. That's a part of self-care. I like to play footsies. Hey, our feet are clean. Your foot is clean. My foot is clean. Let's play footsies. That's a part of radical self-care. I was just in the backyard, putting my feet in the grass, putting my feet in the dirt, talking to people on Instagram. That is a form of radical self-care. Martial arts. This is one of my martial arts temples with my nephew out there in Florida, the Warrior Temple. That's a form of radical self-care to me. I've been training martial arts since the Bruce Lee era, since I was a child. 52 blocks and all that. Big up to the 52 block massive. They got a big thing coming up on the 16th in New York. Light Burley, my man gonna be out there. Master Mo, they gonna be in the building. Tribute to my man who just passed on, Diallo. That's a form of self-care. So understand, because in both systems they add up to a number 9. In the Pythagorean, it adds up to a 63, which deals with the healing aspect of the 6 and the jovial aspect of the number 3. Those are just one-word meanings. I could pull a whole bunch of words out of that. But I, as the numerovator, want you to learn how to extract them from any numerology book. I don't care which book you read it. You're supposed to be able to extract a meaning, a guidance, a cadence for you to become better. That's why I do numerovation, to help you stay motivated with your number, family. So when I go back to the lesson, what's this? Let me see something. When I go back to the lesson, put the lesson in the front. What do I say in the black? The red is online search. The black is my writing. Honoring the temple of the soul. Spiritually, radical self-care is an act of reverence towards your life force. And look. The words radical self-care adds up to 22, which is a portal of not only intuition, but also building from inside and bringing it outwardly. So if you're connected to the number 22, your name adds up to a number. Your middle name, your last name, like my name, Brown, adds up to a number 22. Or Michael Jackson adds up to a number 20. The name Michael adds up to a number 22. So people with 22 needs to practice radical self-care because it adds up to it. But they need to do it with discipline. And be careful of the lower energy of the number 22, where they could be indecisive, second guessing themselves, giving to everybody and not considering themselves. Because number 2, that makes up the number 22, is a very considerate number. They love to help people. Going back to the lesson, it means listening to your soul's needs, meditation, prayer, Solitude, creative expression before you burn out or lose alignment. I don't want none of you to lose your alignment. As a matter of fact, King Simon wants you to gain your alignment, become in alignment. That's why I tell people to do numerovational sessions with me. You don't have to. You go to Lloyd Strayhorn if you want. But I do things a little different. Every man does his thing a little way different. I do it a little differently than Lloyd. But I respect the elder and he respects me because he knew that his children would do it differently from their own perspective. Jackie Levine is one of Lloyd's children. Kaya French is one of Lloyd's children. I, King Simon, is one of Lloyd's children, and all of us have our own perspective and our own way of doing it. And that's the beauty of giving people like Lloyd Strayhorn honors and respect. And what we do, again, is to help you to gain alignment and not lose alignment. And I always tell any of my clients, I say, yo, pay attention to your intuition. That's why spiritual radical self-care is an act of reverence towards your life force within you. And it means listening to your soul's need, meditation, prayer, solitude, creative expression before you burn out or lose alignment. It's radical because it resists the belief that self-sacrifice is the only path to worthiness. Now, we know what the word radical means, and if you don't know, I'll Google it up for you right now. Radical. Meaning, okay? I'm looking it up right now. According to the online dictionary, radical means as an adjective, especially a change or action relating to or affecting the fundamental nature of something, far-reaching or thorough. Number 2, advocating or based on thorough or complete political or social change, representing or supporting an extreme or progressive section of the political party. Number 3, denoting a or relating to the root of the words. Well, that's the linguistic they're saying. The noun radical, a person who advocates thorough and complete political and social reform, a member of the political party or part of a party pursuing such aims. In chemistry, the word radical, a group of atoms behaving as a unit in a number of compounds. Number 3, the root or base form of a word. Radical. So you got all the meanings. I just gave you all the meanings, but you can Google that up yourself. We're coming from a spiritual and a holistic perspective here. Number 2, breaking generational and energetic patterns. Yes, numbers can reveal these types of patterns that we are going through and that we're dealing with. Doing a session, I could see certain patterns that are attracted to you. And I even give you your power numbers and your challenge numbers, or what Brandon Smith might call character building numbers, because it's not really challenging you, but it is building your character, or it's challenging you. Your challenge numbers are here to build your character for you to be your best. And your power numbers are the numbers that help you to carry on with your character, but also can be a challenge because you might not want to deal with the power of that number. So if you're born on the 22nd or the 11th of any month, or if you're born under any number from 1 to 9 or 1 to 31, it comes with its challenge and it comes with its power. But does it mean that the challenge number doesn't bring power to you? And does it mean that the power numbers doesn't bring challenges to you? Yes, it both can go both ways. You got to have balance in everything. Because if you're lazy with power numbers and you're not using the power numbers, then you will keep them dormant. You won't necessarily lose them unless you get taken off the planet. But they will lie dormant until you're ready. I remember Les Brown saying at a lecture years ago, because that's been my teacher since the 2000s, 1999, 2000. One of my teachers. I remember Les Brown saying that he should have been motivational speaker. He should have been doing motivational speaker a long time, but he didn't believe in himself. He didn't believe that he can do it. Because when he heard that people before him was making this amount of money or that amount of money, he was like, wow, they're making that amount of money? So already when you said, wow, I was like, you're putting a little doubt. He put a little doubt on himself. But then he overcame those doubts. And most of us, if we're honest with each other, doubt ourselves a lot. I myself have doubted myself. I myself have doubted myself. Hold on 1 second, family. My mother's calling me. Hold on 1 second. Let me put this on mute real quick. Okay. All right. Had to deal with my mother real quick. She's all right. Like, yeah, I bought her a new TV and she's trying to figure it out. She's 86 years of age. But what was I saying? Okay, going back to the lesson. Les Brown. Les Brown talking about how he doubted himself. And when he finally realized who he was, that's when Les Brown stepped out in his own glory, stepped out in doing what he had to do. And that was a powerful thing, that people doubt themselves. And look, your numbers in your name and your birthday can tell you and give you guidance. But if you're not open to the guidance, if you are still harboring on, I could have harbored on my father or my mother and the way I was abandoned at a certain age or felt abandoned because they was going to work at night, leaving us with babysitters. I could harbor on that, but I decided not to harbor on it. Do it still affect me? Of course it still affect me, but sometimes you got to learn to manage your strengths. Manage your strengths and or strengthen your strength and manage your weaknesses. Let me say that again. Strengthen your strength and manage your weaknesses. And this I learned from A.R. Bernard, Pastor A.R. Bernard. I learned that from Pastor A.R. Bernard. Managing your weaknesses. So your weaknesses might be something that happened in your past with your mom, your dad, your relationship, whatever it is. That's where your weaknesses can lie. Your formative years. I got tortured. I wasn't molested by my cousin. When I do and studied and went back into history, and I said, you know what? They never molest me. Molesting is totally different. They tortured my ass. And is torture better than molestation? I don't know, because I never got molested. So, but torturing is them beating me up and tying me up and putting me in closets or making me run under the bed or pulling me from out of the bed and trying to tickle me until I pee myself. That's torturous. But it wasn't molestation. So I made a mistake and misinterpreted as molestation when it was really torture. Because I ate their food or did something crazy, because I was young. I was eating people's food and taking food out without permission. And I was just one of those inquisitive children that, hey, that looks good. Let me drink that. Oh, that looks good. Let me eat that. That's just was me when I was younger, a little child. And my cousins who were in their teens, they were a little crazy. So they whooped my ass and they did all kinds of craziness. I mean, tied me up like I was in a mental facility and was throwing me around like a football. And they dropped me. One of them dropped me on the floor. It was crazy. Man, I remember, and I forgive them. I forgive them, and I brought it up to them. We cried it out. Only my girl cousins, we cried that one out. But, you know, it is what it is. They were babysitting me, or, you know, they was just tired of me being the prince, because they, you know, they treated this chocolate boy. They treated me good, but then you had those who had their little classism and they cried. And again, those type of things can come up, and those type of formative years treatment can hold you back if you don't learn to manage the weaknesses of that and strengthen your strength of who you are and what you come to do. And that's why the numbers, the astrology, the I Ching, the cardology can help you. But if you're not open to being helped, religious places can help you. I was listening to A.R. Bernard on his birthday. They had a whole big celebration at CCC, the Christian Cultural Center in Brooklyn, or the Cultural Christian Center. I think it's Christian Cultural. My sister goes there. And then, you know, my spirit told me to watch it, right? And I felt that my sister was going to be on the screen. And sure enough, my sister popped up. My biological sister popped up on the screen. And I texted her and say, whoa, I just seen you on the screen. Matter of fact, let me show you the picture. I'll show you a picture of my sister being interviewed about his birthday on the screen. That joint was funny. You know, and because my spirit said, I think my sister going to pop up because I know she's very close to A.R. Bernard. As so my sister popped up on the screen. My sister popped up on the screen while being interviewed by A.R. Bernard's son. That's A.R. Bernard's son. She was interviewing about his birthday. And my sister popped, and I knew she was the last person on the screen giving a birthday salute to A.R. Bernard. Happy belated birthday. His birthday was August the 10th. Him and his wife, Karen, Elder Karen, owns and operates that church in Brooklyn over there off of Pennsylvania Avenue. Those are from Brooklyn, right near Galaxy Hotel back in the day. Galaxy Hotel, Lord of mercy. Yeah, everybody who know Galaxy Hotel, they know Galaxy. Even Shelly Thunder sang about Galaxy. Every man forget, koof, forget, koof, forget, koof. They talk about Galaxy Hotel right there in Brooklyn. Big up to Shelly Thunder, a good friend of mine. Big up to Shelly. Everybody say, yeah, a piece, yeah. A.R. Bernard, yeah, man. A.R. Bernard and Michael Beckwood are powerful people. But not that Bernard. You're talking about Bernard Beckwood. I'm talking about not Michael Bernard Beckwood. I'm talking about A.R. Bernard. A.R. Bernard is another preacher, another pastor of a Christian church. You're talking about Beckwood. His birthday passed July 12th. Not July 12th, July 21st. That was Michael Beckwood's birthday is July 21st. I remember that because he told me his birthday was. All right, so going back to the lesson, family, I'm not finished. Excuse me. Radical self-care is a very important need for every one of you out there. Every one of you, because it can also help you break generational and energetic patterns. Many people inherit cycles of overwork, neglect, or putting others first to the point of harm. Don't put people first before your own self-care, because you could be harming yourself. It has to be reciprocal energy. That's why that's why 6 shows up. 6 in the word radical. In the word radical, you see 6 that shows up. That deals with balance and self-care. In the word self, 6 shows up. In the word self, that 6 shows up. So 6 is a very important factor of this whole saying, radical self-care. 6 is a very important factor. 6 is very important because that deals with balance. It deals with healing. It deals with forgiveness. It deals with beauty. So going back to the lesson, practicing radical self-care interrupts those patterns, showing the soul that it is safe, valued, and loved in this lifetime. I think that's very important. That's very important. That's a very important thing that I wrote down there. Practicing radical self-care interrupts those patterns of neglect, those patterns of overwork, or those patterns of putting others first to the point of harm. The physical perspective. A, active health preservation. Physically, radical self-care means making deliberate choices for your body's well-being. Big up to Empress of Wellness, the one, the only Queen of Four, because she teaches this. Radical self-care means making deliberate choices for your body's well-being, proper nutrition, rest, exercise, holistic checkups, and stress management. What are you doing? And you could call in, right? Y'all could call in if you want. I do have the call-in number. Let me put the call in. Let me pin the call-in number just in case you want to. I want to find out what are you doing to handle and practice radical self-care. What are you doing right now that you can help guide people? So I'll put the number and also the link in the chat if you want to come up. Also, if you want to come up, I'll put the link in the chat. But I'm still teaching. I'm good. But again, proper nutrition, rest, exercise, holistic checkups, and stress management. Because it's not just reacting when something is wrong, but proactively maintaining balance and vitality is also very important in this radical self-love. B, boundaries and energy protection. What are you doing to create boundaries and energy protection around you? It also involves protecting your physical space and personal energy, limiting toxic environments, overcommitment, and unnecessary obligation. You'll have to think on that level in these days and time, because this is an emotional time that we're in. And we just came through a Lionsgate, and we're going into another one, which is August the 17th. And then there's another one in the sign of Virgo on August the 26th. So the Lionsgate shows up 3 times from my perspective. I don't know about any other numerologists. I'm dealing with numerology. The astrology, it might not show up 3 times, but in numerology, it shows up to me 3 times, this Lionsgate. August the 8th is the main Lionsgate. August the 17th is the second Lionsgate, and August the 26th is the third Lionsgate in the month of August. To me, as a numerovator, because then I can use all those vibrations to me. And you could help, it could help you use it too. Again, boundaries and energy protection. It also involves protecting your physical space and personal energy, limiting toxic environments, overcommitment, and unnecessary obligation. This can mean saying no, N-O, often, more often, even when it disappoints others, because you understand self-preservation is not selfishness. It can be considered self-fullness. Big up to Tassili Ma'at for that book that she wrote called The Journey of Self-Fullness. Remember, saying no is not a problem. And don't let people convince you that saying no is a problem. Say no, damn it. No, 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 no. They can say no, 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 no. Again, if you want to come up, if you want to ask a question in the chat, or you want to cam up, or you want to ask via the phone line, you could also call in. The number is 718-210-8853. That's 718-210-8853. Come and share how you practice radical self-care, or how you need to practice radical self-care. My numerovational thoughts and conclusion. Number 1. Well, let me go to the numerovational thoughts. All right. Excuse me. As you can see on the outskirts, you see 5, you see 9, you see 22, you see 14, you see 45, you see 31. In the internals, you see 30, you see 15, you see 18, adds up to 63, 15, 19, 11, adds up to 45, which is 9. The expression of this adds up to the number 9. 9 is the highest level of healing, the highest level of humanity. When you're practicing radical self-care, this is what you're practicing, the highest level of humanity on both systems. Communication system-wise, this is the same meaning of 27, so it deals with creativity, intellectual creativity, and productivity will help you to reap the harvest of your radical self-care. Because once you have practiced radical self-care, I don't care what you're doing, practice radical self-care. At least take time to do it. Take time to practice radical self-care. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with that. And yes, saying no is a part of it. Yes, the number 30 in compound numerology, if you look in my book on page, I want to find the page, the exact page. On page 30, the number 30, on page 74, the number 30 is the number of mental outlook. So when you're radical about anything, there's a mental outlook you have to have. Superior mindset, because you're radically doing, I've already broke down the meaning of radical. You're radically doing something that's going to expand you and help you to grow, because it adds up to a number 3 that helps you expand to another level. In the Chaldean, it adds up to a 15, which is a 6. The radical way that you do things will also help you to bring balance, or it can help you to bring a hard-headedness to a certain situation. Because sometimes when you're radical, you could be hard-headed. The number 6 on this negative is a hard-headed number. It's a hard-headed frequency. Of course, we're dealing with self. 19, 10, 1 deals with self, me, myself, and I. Again, going back to healing, balance, truth, justice, reciprocity, forgiveness, creativity, and adaptability. Creativity and adaptability from the 1 and 5. Care, 18, 9. We know that the number 18 in compound numerology, especially if you look at it in my book, is the symbol of the material side striving to destroy the spiritual side. So when you are caring about yourself, you got to find balance. Because remember, 18 that it adds up to is the spiritual side striving to destroy the physical side, or the material side striving to destroy the spiritual side of nature. So you got to bring balance between the two when you want to care about yourself. And then in the Chaldean system, it adds up to a number 11, which is the equilibrium between the physical and the spiritual realm. Interesting, because this is the symbol of the material side striving to destroy the physical side, or the spiritual side. The material striving to destroy the spiritual side. And this is the number of equilibrium in the Chaldean system. I can't make this up. Just the word care alone. So either you could care or you don't care. That's that side. That's the duality of it. You care or you don't care. All right, so, and then when I look at the vowels of the word, the 22 and the 14, 22 deals with the master builder, the master architect, but you have to build from within, because 22 is an internal, intuitive number, and then bring it outwardly in a disciplinary form and fashion. So it's all about discipline. These are the vowels of the word. In the 14, you're dealing with creativity and discipline, but you learn to be adaptable because of the number 5. You learn to be adaptable. You learn to be versatile. You learn to improvise, adapt, and overcome with your radical self-care, because the inner aspect of it in the Chaldean system adds up to that number. And last but not least, 41-5, discipline and creativity shows up. With the 5, again, flexibility and adaptability. 31, jovial, happy, expansion, and creativity adds up to the number 4 of discipline. So the consonants of the words, radical self-care, adds up to 41 in the Pythagorean, 31 in the Chaldean. 31, we know, is a number of seclusion, according to compound numerology. Especially if you go in my book, I break it down in my book on page 74. Number 31 is the symbol of self-containment and seclusion. So yes, when you are practicing, because the consonants of the words radical self-care adds up to number 31, sometimes you got to go into seclusion. Sometimes you have to radically go into seclusion and confinement. But you don't stay there in a negative way. Don't do that to yourself. Please don't do that to yourself. Don't stay there in a negative way. It means to go in seclusion and confinement, to meditate, because remember the number 31 adds up to 4. That is a mental number. So go into your mind. Yes, but go into it from a positive perspective. Go into it from a positive perspective. Last but not least, let me break down the last. My numerovational thoughts and conclusion. I already broke down the numerovational thoughts. I'm going to my conclusion. The conclusion is, spiritually, radical self-care is a form of sacred self-love that honors your divine purpose. Number 2, physically, it's a lifestyle of prevention, protection, and preservation. It's a lifestyle of prevention, protection, and preservation. Remember, when you care for yourself radically, you become more whole and a more powerful force for others, your family, your friends, your children. You become a more powerful force. And that's what I really want all of you to do in this lifetime. Become more powerful. But you got to have radical self-care. You can't be afraid to radicalize your self-care, to love yourself so much that sometimes you got to pull back from the clubs, pull back from the drama, pull back from the arguments, pull back from the contention, pull back from the disrespect, pull back from radio, pull back from TV, pull back from online use, pull back from certain things, and go into your quiet confinement and really meditate on what level you want to take. Do the I am or the I allow mantras and say, yo, I allow myself to be my best self. I am worthy. Say those things to yourself constantly, even while you're walking the street from one block to the other. I do it in New York because they're in blocks. So if you're walking up Eastern Parkway, that's a long ass block. So I'm saying, I am worthy, worthy am I. I am God, God am I. I am powerful, powerful I am. Am I. I'm saying it backwards and forward like Brother Panic taught us to say. Talk that sass, King Simon, talk that sass. Big up to Brother Panic. Say it over and over and over and over again, or say it 3 times, 6 times, 9 times, following the Nikola Tesla 369. Sometimes you don't have to say it that much. If you imprint it in your soul and in your mind, hey, I am this, or I allow, like Dr. B talked about. I sometimes say, I am allowing myself to be great, and live on that energy from the time I get up in the morning. Do we go through our ups and downs? Of course we go through our ups and downs, family. I know that. We all go through ups and downs. Upside down. Girl, you turn me inside out. Hey, I go upside down. But I want people to become better. That's why we, on this channel, or on my channel, I do Numerovation for mental stability. And that's a good book to get on Amazon, Numerovation for mental stability. Go get it on Amazon. That's what I've been pulling out. The interpretations out of my book, Numerovation for Amazon. And like I said about the dream I had of Tyler Perry, he's in his critical cycle. So pay attention to Tyler Perry these next few weeks. Pay attention to everybody that's being born in September before their birthday. It's coming up. Things are coming out. Things are always going to come out. But that's what it's been coming out from the beginning of the year anyway about Tyler Perry. And pay attention to Ian Lebazan, good and the bad. Tyler Perry, good and the bad. Billy Carson, good and the bad. Pay attention. Pay attention because they're in their critical cycle before their birthday. Brother Rich, good and the bad. Pay attention. Always, because I'm always telling you about the duality. If they're disciplined, they maintain the good. If they're undisciplined, then problems will come about because when you're in the critical cycle, it's about before your birthdays, there's a 52-day critical cycle for everybody right before your birthday. It's not the most important cycle, but it's a very important cycle to pay attention to, especially if you want to remove people, places, and things before your actual birthday, or you want to take things to another level, if you want to settle on certain properties that you might have or you might want to get. This is a good time to talk to your elders and get some real knowledge from the elders while you're in your critical cycle, and also check on your parents, check on your elders also. Check on your grandparents. Again, thanks for those that gave me any type of donation. Holly, big up to you. Those family, remember, you can use PayPal, Zelle, Cash App, or Venmo. Take a snapshot even before or after, or even if the program is off. You can advertise on my show also if you want to be a part of the commercial cluster. If you want a produced commercial, I also charge for producing commercials if you want to produce a commercial with voiceover and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to be connected to a new voiceover talent agency very soon. So I'm going to be doing a lot of voiceovers and all that kind of stuff. They'll get me some jobs and all that kind of stuff. But also, if you want to advertise on my show, you're more than welcome to advertise on my show. Also, just text me 347-496-1022. Big up to one of my sponsors, 340 Worldwide. They provide services to help you grow your businesses if you need that. Also, big up to New Diamonds. She'll be on with me tomorrow. New Diamonds, beautiful New Diamonds. Look at that. Look at that dimples right there. Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. And big up to another beautiful lady who was on Brother Rich show last night. The one, the only, Paula Herlock. She'll be on my. There's some questions that Rich didn't ask that I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask, and it's dealing with conscious connection between America, Jamaica, and the global community. Oh, we're going to talk about it. Believe me. Another one of my sponsors, the one, the only, Nicole Vanessa Spencer. Please support this sister's book. She's a mother. She's from Trinidad and South Carolina. I think a Trinidadian mother and a South Carolina father. So she's half and half, or all of the Americas. Let's put it like that. She's all of the Americas. But make sure you go to her Instagram and follow her on Instagram at Nico Artista 749. I'll put her link in the chat right now so y'all can give her a call if you want her services, her jewelry, her healing jewelry. She got some great jewelry out there. If you need some healing, man, do donate and show love. That will also help with the algorithms and help with the channel to grow the channel as much as you can. That's what we do. Book a session also. If you're a senior, take advantage of the senior citizen rate. It's 40% off for the 30-minute and the 60-minute. If you're an AARP member, it's 10% off. If you're an AARP member, it's 10% off. 40% for those 60s and older. And if you're AARP, because you could join AARP from 50 years and up, some say 18 years and up to get those benefits. However, it's 10% off if you're an AARP member. All right. And let me see. Tonight, I'm going to have Brother Jabari. Brother Jabari will be on with me tonight. Remind me, I got to text him also so I can make sure. Jabari. Yeah. Brother Jabari will be on with us tonight. And again, on the 26th, on Today's Consciousness, I have Mansho and Washa coming in live and direct. Big up to Tassili Ma'at. Tassili Ma'at, an all-day free event is happening over there at 1059 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard. You know what? I'm going to see. I'm going to ask Tassili if I could do a workshop during one of those days at the temple upstairs. You know, maybe we should do a workshop up there. You know, maybe we should have some people that people want to focus on and get some stuff. or not, I'll probably just book it myself. And what else do I have to promote? I was already there. We was at the Black Vegan Fest. I did not get to see Nikki from the Veggie House of Pancakes. I didn't know where she was. Come to find out, the Veggie House of Pancakes was teaching a class, so I didn't go in that section. I only stayed amongst the vendors. So I missed that. I did miss that. I wanted to get some pancakes from her, and I missed that. Oh my goodness, it wasn't meant for me. It's meant for me to go over there physically and go get some pancakes. That's what it's meant. So one day this weekend, I might go over there and get some pancakes. And again, family, if you want to book a session with me, text me your full name, date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. Remember, numbers is applied mathematics. Learn how to apply your numbers and they will guide you. And if you have any seniors you want to pay for and you know they're seniors, 60 years and older, hey, text me for them and I'll give that 40% discount for your senior citizens in your household or in your family. And if they are AARP members, text me and let me know. They got to send at least a picture of the card. They don't have to send me the whole address, just a picture of the card with their finger on it. Let me know that they are AARP member and I'll give you the 10% discount also. All right. So on that note, family, have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Thank you for listening to Radical Self-Care, the Ministry of Numerovation, right here on KSP TV Media and also on Instagram. And the next class that I'll be teaching on is on the 15th. I'm going to be teaching this on Nipsey Hussle's birthday. Nipsey Hussle's birthday. The marathon continues. I'm going to be teaching this on Nipsey Hussle's birthday. The marathon continues. So get ready for that. I'm going to break down the numbers. I already have the numbers up too. Hey, look at this. I already broke it down. I thought I was going to still be in New York and teach it, but I'm going to write it on the board. I already got the numbers. I'm going to be breaking it down. I already got the numbers already written out. So I'm going to get it in on that day. I'm going to get it in. The marathon continues on Nipsey Hussle's birthday on August the 15th. All right. So family, have a great day, afternoon, and evening. Be safe, be great. Remember what Dr. B says. I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection, and I am thankful for my life. And remember what Dr. Blair used to say. Please, universal creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth in your love now. Thank you, Dr. B. Thank you, Dr. Blair. Thank you, people, for tuning in and locking in right here on King Simon Presents Only Quality People on Instagram at I am King Simon 111, right here on the ministry, the raw ministry of Numerovation. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Be safe, be great, be at peace. One love. Numerovation with King Simon. Text me now at 347-496-1022. You could also take my course if you want to, but do text me for your sessions at 347-496-1022. You could also get my books on Amazon at Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. Remember, you can book your session and get it done right now. 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. King Simon the Numerovator.